Guys, it's a late reaction, and it's been a while since my last video. But look, let's get into it. Look, we got a win against Sporting Lisbon, a really tough fought win at the end, to be honest. And now, after that performance and result, especially after Southampton, I expected Arsenal really to go get a result. And by result, I wasn't expecting a win. I knew Arsenal were not going to lose the game. Just knowing how Arsenal are under Arteta, especially this season, I've come to expect, how Arsenal are going to approach games like this. It's not surprising um, how Arsenal approach games, and we know how Arsenal want to keep it reserved. Especially away in the first leg. The instructions are clear by Arteta not to force the ball into dangerous positions if not needed. And of course, unfortunately, when you play like that, when you play on such fine margins, it does cause for some very, very, very boring football games to watch. But I think today was a bit different, to be honest. I think today was a bit different. I think that might be controversial. I think a lot of people found the game boring, which I do agree. There were some glimpses, some periods of the game where it was boring. But I think there were periods of the game where Arsenal did try actually playing through the middle. Although it didn't work all the time, I did see moments of Arsenal actually trying to win the game. Even though, I mean, we did score at one point, and of course it was offside. But by the way, what a finish by Zubimendi. In terms of the game, look, I think we started off quite shaky. I think the first 15-20 minutes, Sporting Lisbon even hit the the crossbar in the first 5-10 minutes. But especially near the end of the first half, I think Arsenal were building up some pressure, building up some momentum. But it was just the final ball. It just didn't ever click. We were brilliant going up to the final third of the pitch, but it's just that moment, when you needed some, just some composure, just some magic. We just never had it in that first half, whether it was an overhit pass or just making the wrong decision. But second half, by the way, the subs, I think, completely changed the game. I think Martinelli came on, once again changed the game. And to be honest, I know a lot of fans are still talking about the Southampton result. And for me, Martinelli was one of the few players. I don't know. For me personally, I think he was one of the players who played much better than the rest of them. And today he produced a brilliant moment of magic to get us the goal. Brilliant finish, by the way, by Kai Havertz. Easily could have missed that. And for me personally, I just don't want to see Kai Havertz in midfield. I think Kai Havertz is best off. If he does play in midfield, bring him off the bench, but not starting. If he starts, just playing up front. And today the defense really good. Actually, really not really good, but they played. They had their moments. They were decent. Raya, by the way, kept us in the game with some brilliant saves. And of course, it brings up the question: should Raya have started against Manchester City, against Southampton? And to be honest, I don't want to keep talking about those games, and I don't want to use hindsight. And I'm not going to blame Kepa for any of those results, because against Manchester City, it wasn't because of Kepa. It's just we were outclassed. And overall, I think in the last two games, we were just not good enough. It wasn't on Raya. It wasn't on Kepa. I think Madueke had some bright moments. How the fullback wasn't sent off is beyond me. The amount of times Madueke was absolutely ripping him, and the fact is none of the fullbacks got yellow card is absolutely crazy, because Madueke got past him a couple of times and he kept getting brought down. Honestly, I don't know how their fullbacks were not given a yellow or anything. Rice, now let's talk about some players who also played really good. Declan Rice today, I think Declan Rice was brilliant today. The amount of ground he covered today, he was one of the best players today, Declan Rice. And you can see how much we needed him, how much we need him and how much he brings to the team. When he's playing against Southampton, you can see the gaps in midfield, but when he was playing, you can see. And you could actually see Sporting Lisbon were trying to do something what Manchester City did, where they put the four forwards right near Raya, put all the forwards right in front of Raya to block every single passing option, whether it's to Zubimendi, whether it's to Declan Rice, whether it's to Saliba, Gabriel. They put the forwards right in front, similar to what Manchester City did, and we struggled with it. But today, we did much better with it. You can see and I think it's because of what was his name? How would I forget? David Raya. I think David Raya was the difference today, and because of the fact that he's able to play out from the back, you could see Martin Odegaard also dropping in deep to demand for the ball, who I think played quite decent today. Is that controversial? I think Martin Odegaard played okay today. I know a lot of fans are going to criticize his performance today, but I think he looked positive. He was constantly demanding for the ball. At times, he was even driving through the midfield with the ball. So I think Martin Odegaard, honestly, I think he played I don't know, maybe it was an underrated performance. Maybe not many fans are going to look back on it. But yeah, I think he played much better in this game. And once again, he had to go off injured. I don't know if it was an injury, he was on the floor. I'm convinced, I'm 100% convinced he is not fit. Like, I think we are having to almost we are forcing him to play because we just don't have any options in that midfield. You know, you got Eze who's out. He doesn't trust Norgard. Like, I'm quite confident that Martin Odegaard is not 100% fit, and I think he needs more rest. But because of the situation we are in, we're having to almost force him to play, and you can see he's going down, he's coming off. He hasn't even finished a 90 yet. But yeah, look, overall a very good result, a big win against a side who have been really good at home. Don't forget, these lot beat PSG at home, so they've been really good this season. So don't underestimate this win. But yeah, it was a good win, especially because we needed a bounce back because we have more important games coming. We got Bournemouth at home this Saturday, so we needed something to boost us, and hopefully this win gives the players some confidence. I was desperate for Victor Yokers to get on the score sheet. He almost got an assist, but of course he was offside. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the performance. Were you guys proud of the team? What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Martin Odegaard's performance? Let me know in the comments. I'm Madway Case. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.